Hi everybody, it's me, Sam B, here from Bumblebee Acres. As always, I'm your host of Caught in the Wool, today's podcast, and you might hear some talking in the background. All the other bumblebees are out. They are going to run errands in Crystal Lake, which is 2 towns over from us. So they are, just getting us ready for the week, doing all that stuff. We like to run errands on weekdays because I am sure that you've experienced the mad rush that is weekend shopping. So yeah, that's what they're off to do. Also, Sarah and Heliana both have physical therapy for their various injuries. So Sarah actually injured herself, what was it? Oh gosh, like 8 months or so ago, I think it was. I don't know the exact date, but it's been quite a while, by twisting hanks of yarn. And she got a ganglion cyst in her wrist, and it had to be operated on, and she's still in a lot of pain, so she actually can't knit that much, which is really sad, and her abilities on the farm in the business are kind of limited right now, and that's sad. And Heliana, my other sister, had a surgery on her left shoulder, which was the result of a yoga, I guess, injury. So everything's been, everybody's injured. As you know, I have type 1 diabetes if you've been here for a while, and I wanted to show you guys my new pump, like all in action. So this is my pump. They recommend that you have a sticker on the interface to kind of protect it, I suppose, from scratches and damage and whatever. And as you can see, my blood sugar is 240 right now, which isn't that great, but I'm actually going to, well, I would correct it, but down here it says my active insulin is 4 units, which is about as much as they tell me to correct anyway for that much. I've been going high after breakfast. It's been a challenge trying to get the adjustments just right for the new pump, but anyways, it's super cute. And as you can see, I have like these Argyle skulls. I saw this company had these cute stickers, and one of them had this Argyle pattern, and I was like, well, it's literally itty bitty tiny knit stitches, so I mean I had to have it. But yeah, so other than going high after breakfast, I've been doing pretty good. I've been on the automated system, or what they like to call auto mode, for 3-ish weeks now, and it's been an adjustment because you have to make sure that all your levels are correct. So I've been working with my diabetes educator that the company provided me with, and her and I have been working back and forth looking at how I'm doing one week, what we should change now, etc., etc. So it's been doing really good this past week, except for going high still after breakfast. I'm not exactly sure why I keep going high after breakfast. I think that I just need to take a lot more insulin. I don't even eat very large breakfasts, so I don't even know, whatever. But yeah, so I've been eating different things for breakfast, and I still go high, so I guess my insulin dosage is still just too low. But yeah, so I haven't filmed in quite a while because we had a warm spell, and then we had another really cold spell, and we've just been freezing here. And now it's warm again. It's been in the 50s the past 2 days, and just a ton of rain. So after all that frozen weather and tons of rain, like our whole street is flooded. It's madness. Locally, the animals, the livestock and the sheep, their area doesn't seem to be flooded right now, but yeah, it's messy out there. So I hope you guys have been all doing well. It's so nice to be here again, and I feel like I'm talking really fast, so I'm gonna just slow it down. Well, in the past month, a lot of things have changed on Bumblebee Acres farm, but not tons, but a good amount. So we have changed our business to now be we're updating our shop every Friday now. So you will see new items come back in, just new colorways that Queen Bee and Sun Bee have come up with for the week, new Rolags or bats or what have you. We are also having, you know, when they bring back colors that have been in, I don't want to say retired, because a lot of people say that they retire colorways, but we don't really see a point. Like, sometimes some seasons are better for certain colorways. Some colorways we do specifically in certain seasons. So, yeah, they'll just put new restocked colorways that they're keeping for dye to order or have been dyeing on the home page. So yeah, that's exciting. Speaking of updates and new colorways, I have a ton of madness behind me. I mean, the most wonderful madness, but still madness. So I told you guys a while ago that we have been dyeing solid colors now, and we have also started doing solids with speckles. So those are black speckles. So it gives your knits a little bit of a tweeded look. As you can see, it's beautiful. This colorway is Silver Bullet with speckles. I'm not sure if all of them are listed on the shop with speckles yet. We are dyeing a ton for show season right now. So recently, where am I going with this? Oh no, I forgot my coffee. I will be right back. Okay, I'm back with my McCafe. You know how it is. Cheers. I have no place to set this. Why don't I think ahead when I'm filming? Anyways, where was I? Oh, okay. So I was talking about how we are actually getting ready for show season, which means so much dyeing. So for an indie dyer, indie dyeing business, it's a little different when you prepare for shows opposed to just running your regular online business, which is what most indie dyers do. I'm not going to talk about people who do wholesale and supply their yarns to local yarn shops and what have you, because we don't do that, and we don't plan on ever doing that. And just a quick, thing about that is we won't be ever, we don't plan on ever supplying to local yarn shops, just because we like having a connection with our customer base. Not that there's anything wrong with supplying to local yarn shops. I know a lot of wonderful dyers who actually do that. But I don't know, I like talking to you guys. I like meeting you guys at shows. I like being able to write something personal on every single little thing that, like, I mail out, because usually it's me, but sometimes Queen Bee will write, like a thank you. Sometimes we'll say something specific about a colorway. Sometimes when we're in a rush, we don't write it much more than a thank you, but we always try to add something a little personal to it, and that's just us. That's just who we are, and that doesn't make us any better than any other dyer who might be too busy to do something like that. We have built-in employees that a lot of other businesses aren't lucky enough to have that right off the bat, so we're lucky with that. And yeah, so we will be doing shows and just doing it online for probably ever, just because we just like to have that connection with you guys. So, show season. I believe in my last episode, I put a link to our show schedule in the description, and I'm going to be doing that again. So you can see that in the description below is the link to our show schedule. And our first show is coming up this coming weekend. We will be in Milwaukee for the Midwest Fiber Frolic. I'm pretty sure I did tell you guys all about this last time. I don't know. I think you guys are probably like, Sam, why don't you remember what you said? Why don't you remember or like rewatch your last video? I don't want to watch myself again. I have to watch myself right now when I'm filming you, and it's weird because I'm like talking to myself, but it helps me seeing myself just because I feel like I'm talking to an actual person instead of just talking to a computer. So yeah, I'm talking to myself right now. So I see this video already, and then I have to edit it, and then I have to upload it. And editing, I usually watch it through 2 to 3 other times, just to make sure everything runs smoothly and still I miss things, because watching yourself on TV is weird. It's just weird. Anyways, I went off on one of my infamous tangents. Yeah, Midwest Fiber Frolic is this weekend, so February 23rd to 25th. So it's a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday event. It's kind of like a retreat that you don't have to register for. So it's free to get in, and the only thing that you pay for is if you are sleeping there, if you are staying in the hotel, which we will be doing just because Milwaukee, I think it's like an hour and a half to 2 hours from us, probably closer to 2.5 with traffic. I mean, it isn't always so bad. I think it might be a flat 2 hours. I don't know. My mom might watch this later and be like, what are you even talking about? I don't know. We don't go to Milwaukee that often. But, yeah, it's quite a bit of a drive, and the hours for the show are very late. I think it's Friday and Saturday. One of the nights it goes until like 8 p.m. So driving home is going to be a lot for us. So we are going to be staying at the Crown Plaza, which is the Crown Plaza by the airport. I don't know the exact address or anything for it, but that's where we'll be staying, and we will be hanging out and knitting and all of that stuff. Afterwards, we might pass out in our hotel room, but that's like just part of show stuff. There are some people who are very, well, not people, other vendors who can be very social, like after events, and they'll go and they'll hang out with people or go have dinner. Sometimes we'll do that, but sometimes we're just so exhausted. Like, we work, us Bumblebees are working all the time, nonstop. It's just, a lot of times Queen Bee and I especially are working until like midnight, 2 a.m. So when it comes to shows, we just get so tired, and sometimes we just veg on pizza in our hotel room, pass out, and then see you guys in the morning. So yeah, that's that. But I am super excited to see people. I love doing shows. Shows are one of my favorite things ever. This year we're going to be doing a lot more shows, and I'm hoping to get into some shows that we are currently like on the waiting list for. To spread out more across the United States, just because, well, I like traveling, but I also love traveling with yarn. Traveling with yarn is the best. So far, the farthest we're going is Estes Park in Colorado. That's currently the farthest we're going, but I think we're only signed up for one show in March as of right now. We will not be doing YarnCon, even though we normally, well, not normally, last year was our first year doing YarnCon. The spots filled up so fast for YarnCon that by the time we got on the computer, like, I don't know, I think my mom waited like 3 hours after signups opened to go and look. They had already sold out of all their spaces except for some 4x4 spaces. And I don't even know what you do in a 4x4 space. You like stand in a little square and you just hang out? I don't know. But, so we will not be doing YarnCon, but we will be doing Stitches Midwest, which I am psyched about because Stitches Midwest last year was such a blast. we hadn't ever gone to or done any stitches events before last year. So that was like really cool because it's just so big. We aren't doing Stitches West, I think is this weekend as well, but we won't be doing Stitches West just because it's such a travel thing for us, and having a farm and everything, like, it's just not feasible for us right now. But maybe next year, we will see. I would like to go to California. I've never been to California, so I would love to just do that and see everything that you will see on the trip to California, because of course we'd be road tripping with a ton of yarn. What else would we be doing? So yeah, I'm excited about that. Road tripping, that is, with yarn. I hope that I can road trip to California with yarn. How cool would that be? I just see like people saying that they're going to be at the Edinburgh Yarn Festival in Scotland, and I'm like, oh, my best friend lives in Scotland. Well, one of my best friends. My best friend from college, one of my best friends from college, Arantxa, she lives in Scotland with her husband and her wee little lassie daughter, and I want to meet her daughter so badly. I haven't gotten to because she moved to Scotland, had her baby, and I mean, when do I get to go to Scotland? So far, never, but someday I would love to go to Scotland. But, yeah. Anyways, this has just been kind of like an intro of me just talking about stuff for like forever. And let's talk about yarn. So I have a ton of yarn in the background because I haven't shown you guys that much of our yarn, in all honesty, because they have so many colorways, all repeatable colorways for the most part. They almost always do recipes with their colorways, Sarah and my mother, just because when they come up with something beautiful, like, how could you miss the opportunity to write that down and then make it again? So yes, we have some fun stuff. So I'm going to talk about first the most recent update that we did with a bunch of yarns. So let me grab my basket. You guys know how I am with my basket. So some of these are still wet because they're drying. We have been dyeing up so much yarn that we actually had to buy 2 more massive drying racks, and we actually need more. This beauty is called Lucky Rainbow, and here it is on our coquette base. And as always, my lights are kind of washing it out in the video, though sometimes, oh, and excuse my nail polish that's chipping. Usually I don't get the chance to paint my nails, but I haven't been on top of stuff. But yes, isn't this adorable? And I want to show you guys a project that Queen Bee is doing with these. I was going to wait until later to show you everybody's projects, but I want to show you what she's making. Okay. Also, we found these super cute like bags. I think they're technically for men's like shaving kits or whatever. We got them at TJ Maxx, you know, one of my favorite places. Queen Bee is making these socks, and guess who they are for? They're for me! Okay, sorry, I'm so excited. Look at how cute these are. Oh my gosh, they are adorable. Do you see how these are striping up? And yes, this is our squishy DK base. So I want to talk more about squishy DK socks. As you can see, I have some more socks up there, and I actually have socks up there as well. And I want to talk to you guys about socks. So, yes, how cute. I'm so excited. When I was growing up, I loved anything like magical with fairies and leprechauns and silly stuff like that. There was this movie that I used to watch, and for the life of me, I cannot remember the name of it, because we would get it at the local VHS rental place, and it was something about this girl who was in England or Ireland or something, and she, it could have been Scotland, I don't know, it's one of those places, and her cousin or what have you would race ponies. They called them ponies, but they looked like horses to me, but I suppose they were smaller like ponies. And she was obsessed with the ponies, and she had this little leprechaun friend that was helping her, and they, oh God, I'm trying to remember. They did something with, they found this fairy princess who was turned into a beautiful white unicorn pony type thing, and she trained her and raced with her, and then at the end she helped release her, and then she got a pony of her own. But anyways, you know, classic little girl movie that you would love. Gosh, I will look up the name of it and put it in the description or something if I can find it, because I just loved it. It was so goofy. And there was another movie sort of like that with like evil witches and fairies, and they're all live action movies, these two movies I'm talking about right now. And the other one, I think it had little fairies or little leprechauns, and if you caught one, you would get a wish or 3 wishes or something, and I don't know, I was really young. I don't know, but that's what this yarn reminds me of. Back to yarn. That's what this yarn reminds me of, so I'm super excited about those socks because it totally reminds me of my childhood. Yeah. Oh, and also this is a seasonal colorway. So these colors that I'm showing you are mostly, blah, 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 what am I trying to say? They are St. Patrick's Day inspired colors. So this one, I think she will be retiring, not retiring, but I don't know, I don't want to say remission because that doesn't have like pleasant connotations. This will be going on vacation for the rest of the year after St. Patrick's Day. So if you like it, definitely get it. I showed you guys our supernatural yarns before, our hunting with baby colorway. But Sarah and Queen Bee came up with this, which is Winchester's. So this is it on our squishy sock. And you can see all of those incredible speckles in there. And this is it on our coquette sock. And they are beautiful. I absolutely love them. I think that the colors are just perfectly reminiscent of Sam and Dean. They're always wearing these earthy tones. It's just, they're beautiful. They're beautiful. Queen Bee claimed this one, and I don't know if I want something out of coquette sock with it. I'm kind of torn because I like coquette sock and I like the socks that you can make with it, but I'm not sure entirely if I want something out of coquette sock. So I'm thinking still of what I want. I mean, I just want a giant sweater in Sam and Dean colorways, don't you? Yeah. Yeah, you do. And then the two other, and I skeined these kind of poorly because they are still a little damp because she dyed them yesterday. Here, let's put this one on this side where it's not as bright. So this is Diddly Eye, and this one's Lorna Doone. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is Diddly Eye and this is Lorna Doone. It might be backwards. I'm so sorry if I got it backwards, but they are right on the front of the shop. This one is on Squishy DK right here, and it has, well, I don't know if you can see the cast of green and like bluey green, but it has these adorable speckles all throughout it. Just so cute. And this one is just a mashup of beautiful greens. And this especially emeraldy green color. And this is on our bubble sock base. So that base that is 20% silk, 80% superwash merino. And I know that last time I told you guys that I was going to be doing a shawl out of that, and I will show you guys in a little bit because I kind of want to go through yarns first before I show you guys projects. It's hard because, you know, they obviously, oh sorry, I left my phone here and it's talking to me. Oh gosh, I have a lot to do. Trying to find a place. I didn't put a table by me. I don't know what I'm thinking. I know I have this giant table behind me, but it's hard to find stuff if I put it all behind me. And I want to tell you guys about this adorable shawl that I'm wearing, and I kind of am wearing it goofy, but that's because I kind of just threw it on. And I don't really have a mirror down here. Not like a good full-length body mirror, but yeah, it's hard to tell you guys about the projects that I'm doing and yarns separately because a lot of the stuff is intertwined, but I want to show you guys some like colors that are newish. So anybody who is in our Harry Potter club will maybe recognize this. So our Hogwarts Order of Magical Makers Club got this beautiful, just to die for colorway. I'm pretty sure it was November's colorway. It's the 3 broomsticks. Oh my god, it is to die for. It is just so beautiful. I want a sweater in this. I've currently been obsessed with sweaters and I just want to do sweaters and everything. But just look at how that golden brown, it's almost not even brown. It's almost just like a straight gold blends into those plummy purples. Oh, I'm just so in love with this. So this colorway, she might be releasing it after the show onto the online shop, but currently it's coming to the show with us. So it will be at Midwest Fiber Frolic, and I'm so excited to have it. I'm so excited. Yes, and then I have just other stuff thrown about. This I brought with just because it is our Through the Stones, and it has those little pops of purples and blues. It's so beautiful. And I had to reskein this one because every once in a while, a skein gets a little weirdly tangled up. A lot of times it happens with our squishy DK, though it isn't our fault. It'll just come to us weirdly wrapped. It's happened a few times, and so if you ever get a skein from us, and it's especially squishy DK, it's just the mill makes it weird, and we can't even tell until after, you know, once you start ball winding it. And since we don't ball wind everything, we don't know yet. So I do apologize in advance. But this one, I don't know, it looked a little funky just after we dyed it. So I reskeined it. It's so pretty. Anyways, I just wanted to show it off. Queen Bee also, and these are 2 damp ones that I didn't skein very beautifully. But if you just look at the colors. So Queen Bee was inspired to do kind of kitty cat colors. This one's getting washed out again by that light. Yeah, literally kitty cat colors. So this one's supposed to be kind of like a gray tabby. And this one I'm guessing is supposed to be like a brown tabby. But they're both on squishy sock. And I don't know if she's going to stick with them, but they will be in the shop. Hopefully soon. I just wanted to give you a teaser because how cute are these? Oh my god, I love them. I especially love this one. And I told her, you should just do a bunch of colors that are neutrals with like a little contrasting pop in there. You should just do a bunch of these because there are so many cool things you could do with stuff like this. I don't know, my designer's heart is like running wild. And I've shown you guys Sansa before, but this is Sansa on Bubble Sock. And this one also had to get reskeined yesterday. Oh my gosh. So look at this. Do you guys see that? It's just my heart. My heart. It's so beautiful. Okay, and then over there I have some more, I have another silver bullet, but not with speckles. And then I wanted to show you guys, okay, so this is with Sprites Heart Rainbows on Squishy Sock. And I know I've shown you guys this before, but I just saw it on the drying rack and I was like, okay, I gotta bring it because it's so cute. And then one of my all-time favorites. This light is, I hate when it washes us out because it's hard to see how freaking brilliant this is. Do you see all the colors? Yeah, let me block the light a little bit. Do you see this? This is one of my favorite colors that they have ever dyed. I don't know why. It just speaks to me so much. This like minty teal green, which is one of my favorite colors I've mentioned to you before, and I love purples. And then it's got this like yellowy pop in it. It's just beautiful. And of course it has a black speckle overlay throughout it. And I just think this would make the funkiest, coolest shawl. Also, I would wear like, I'd make socks out of every single pattern that exists out of this, and shawls and sweaters and hats and everything. I just love it. And I had another one back there. And oh, I want to show you guys these skeins up here. So bear with me 1 second. So Queen Bee has not really dyed this colorway in a while, but she has Koi Pond. So Queen Bee's Koi Pond is intense. Oh, it's doing that thing again. It's washing us out. You can see the exposure is super high, but calm down. Okay, now you can see it better. Do you see this beautiful clear water blue? And then this pop of literal koi fish. Orange, gold, black speckled koi fish. It is so cool. This is just one of my favorite colors, and I'm so excited that she's dyeing it again. I was so excited to see it on the drying rack. It's just beautiful. And then another colorway that she has not really dyed before, well, she has dyed it, but she hasn't dyed it in a long time, is Rainbow Fish. So Rainbow Fish is dyed almost exactly like Koi Pond, but with way more color. Little rainbow fishes. Anyways, these will all be at the Midwest Fiber Frolic, and I'm just so excited. And of course, this is all Coquette sock right here. But yeah, I'm gonna just put them back. Okay, so we talked about yarns. Now, time to talk about the projects. Okay, so also I need to drink coffee. It has been rainy all day and basically all night. It's been just this rainy, and as you can see, my hair is like being frizzy, wild, and I'm just going with it. I'm just going with it. I'm wearing my Inverness shawl, and I'm like, I'm going with it. So, yeah. But I need a camera that isn't going to panic every time I move. It's starting to get on my nerves. Like, just because when I show you guys something, I want you guys to see it for what color it is. So last time you guys saw that I was wearing my Claire Inverness 1946 shawl, and I showed you guys that I was working. This was one of my whips on the tete-a-tete colorway one, and that is what I'm wearing today. So I got it all blocked. You can see my picot edge and all the lace, and I paired it with this adorable, sorry, my insulin pump. It wants me to calibrate. Sorry, ignore that. I'm pairing it with this adorable shawl pin, which I'm pretty sure this one is from the Clay Sheep, and I will link her below. I've mentioned her before. I'm pretty sure this is from her. But it went purple. Purple. The purple went perfect with the little bits of lavender, purple, and pink that's in the shawl. So this colorway will also be at the Midwest Fiber Frolic, and I'm super excited to bring it because we have not released this colorway yet. And I actually came up with this colorway. I told Queen Bee, okay, I want this color, this color, this color. It's hand painted in this elaborate process. And Queen Bee's like, oh my gosh, this colorway takes forever, but it's so worth it. Do you see how beautiful it is? And it's so different. Like, I just love it. I just love it so much. So I finished this, and I am also working on the French Liaison on Bubble Sock one. And let me grab it out for you because it is, oh my gosh. So you would think that I get tired of re-knitting my own patterns. And you know what? Surprisingly, I don't. The only thing that I'm like holding up my hands to block that light. Thank you. The only thing that I get tired of are these lights doing this. Oh, sorry. Again and again and again. Okay. Let me hold this up better. So I am starting from the top down, which is how this pattern works. And as you can see, it is a square shawl. So it has 3 spines, and they all increase every other row. And oh my gosh. Do you see this? In person, it is not glowing as much as this light is making it glow, but it does glow. And the silkiness of this yarn, as you are knitting it, it just slides off your needles in the most beautiful way. I adore this shawl right now. I adore this color. Just, do you see how this color is working up? I just can't get over it. It is the perfect rose garden, rose print floral-esque colorway I have ever seen. And you get these little pops of intense blue, and sometimes the color breaks into this beautiful speckle, and I just can't even. Do you see this beautiful little pop of blue here and there? Oh my gosh. It's just to die for, so it's going to be beautiful. Yeah, so this is the Inverness 1946 and the French Liaison in Bubble Sock, and I'm knitting it using my Kraft hazelnut needles. So these needles, I've mentioned to you guys before, are hand turned in Vermont. And they just came out actually yesterday with an update for wire coated, like metal wire coated cables for their, oops, sorry, my computer had a weird pop-up. For their interchangeable connectors, and all of their needles are interchangeable. And do you just see how lovely this is? I haven't seen them come out with this wood lately, but they just had an update last night with a bunch of different woods. And it's just beautiful. And it is working with my lace wonderfully. I don't know if you can see, but this is super sharp lace tip point. And they actually have a convex curve on their needles. So I don't know if you've looked at your needles before, but usually you have a concave curve, which means that it kind of has that little ridge. These needles are ridgeless, as you can see. So that means that your yarn literally slips beautifully over your needles. And I am in love. I got these for my birthday a few years ago. And they're just absolutely divine. I can't get over how wonderful their needles are. In the past, sorry, I zipped up my project again. Let me grab my other whips. Whip, whip, whip. I'll just grab this for right now. So I have been working with Kraft for a few years now, like using their needles. Almost exclusively I use their needles. I hadn't used their sock needles yet because I told you guys before that I'm going to do a full video on sock needles and needle knitting techniques and what you choose and the differences, pros and cons, because a lot of different needles, like if you're doing magic loop 2 at a time, or the new Addy Flexi Flips, or just the classic DPNs, they all kind of have their pros and cons. I discovered that my favorite way to knit socks and anything small is with magic loop. And my mother had Kraft's heavy metal needles, which are literally heavy metal. So they are steel, I believe, tip needles, and they are so heavy, but in the best way possible. So look at these. So I got the 3.5 inch tips. They have that beautiful convex curve. They're not lace tips, but you don't really need a lace tip to do socks, I'm finding. I was doing a magic loop with, what was it, Hiya Sharps on socks, and I loved it. But the sharpness kept splitting my yarn. And I mean, I liked that they were sharp, but I also kept stabbing myself. So I was sitting there and I was like, you know what? I need to commit to needles. I need to find my needles. So I asked my mother, who had a pair of the heavy, not a pair, she has a whole set. She has a set of 0s, 1s, 1.5, 2, and 3. I think she has one of each. From when they kind of, I think, from when they almost first started doing them, or at least quite a long time ago, she has all of them. So I borrowed hers, and it was like the world just clicked into place for me, literally. It just was so beautiful how everything just worked out perfectly. Their connectors are almost always perfectly smooth. Like, you don't feel any real catch at all. So I ordered 3 0s and 3 3s because when you order a set of 6 needles, and I think it's either 6 or 8 with their regular size needles, but with the heavy metals, with 6 pairs of needles, you get one of Linda Dyak's hand-sewn bags, and you see how beautiful this bag is. It has this cute strap that slides over, and she has such attention to detail that she lined up, you guys, she lined up the stripes. Unbelievable. But look at this cute matching of fabrics. Just perfect. It has 2 pockets. And she sells bags, not in this print, I don't think, but she does have bags for sale that are the same type of style. And then it also came with 3 cords. So I have found that I like shorter cords when I'm doing magic loop, just because the more cords that are in place, the more frustrating it is for me. That the longer the cord is, it just gets in my way so badly. So I am currently using, I think, a 19-inch in total and a 17-inch in total, like from tip to, I think it is, or maybe it's not including the tips. You know what? I don't know, because I'm going to do a full video on needles. I was going to do that today, but, well, technically for my next video after the last one, I was going to do a full like sock needle, my full sock needle video that I've been planning, but I just have not had the time. It has not been warm enough, and I also really, really wanted to get a regular video out for you guys. But, yes, I'm going to be talking all about Kraft and how much I love them and how much I adore them and just everything that they have. They're coming out with some more Northern Lights, which are their anodized steel metal needles. So they do hand-turned wood needles, they do anodized steel needles as well, in all different colors, and I'm so excited for those because I've been dying for a set of my own, but I don't know if I'm going to. I don't know if I have the funds yet. I have some money in savings, but I don't know. It is a business expense for me because I am a designer, so I need needles that make me happy, but I just got these, so I'm currently just super happy with these. So I want to show you guys what I am making with these. Yes, so back to my rainbow macaroon bag that my friend Hannah got me. Stuffing! What could I be doing with stuffing? So as you can see, this is like just, it looks like it's not cleaned, but this is the excess wool from when we sent our cormo off to be made into top. So when comb's top is processed, combs literally comb the wool. And they're super fine tooth combs, so it takes out every little tiny yucky bit of, you can see the little bits of veggie matter and stuff in there. But they do it after they wash the wool. So this is all super clean, it just has little bits of grass and seeds and hay and what have you in it. So we have pounds and pounds of this stuff because they send it back for you to do whatever you want. So I've been using it as stuffing because why not? And what could I be stuffing? Well, I'll just show you guys. I have like a madness in this bag. I kind of feel like I'm showing you guys my dirty laundry. Like, do you see all this madness in here? Yeah. Well, what I have been doing is, oh, everything is tangled up in here, is I have been making, oh, here is my current one. I don't know if you can. You know what? I had everything wrapped nicely, and then something happened. I put everything in the bag, and then it all fell apart. But as you can see, this is a little stuffed appendage. This is a leg. This is a cute little leg. It's a cute little rainbow leg. This is knit using our Squishy DK, and I'm using my 3s, US 3 Diet Kraft Heavy Metals, and it's really cute and rainbow. And I have a bunch of these little rainbow guys. So, they look like something inappropriate when you put them all on the cord. I'm not going to say what because I'm classy. I'm putting them all on because they all have live stitches at the end. Because at some point you knit these into the body of your project, of this mystery project I'm about to tell you guys about. Oh, well, I dropped a stitch. Well, you know what? That just happens, and I'm missing a leg. these are legs. Just so you know, they are legs. And I have to make 8 of them. So what has 8 legs? What has 8 legs that I could be knitting? I don't know. And I don't know why I have all this yarn at the end, but I'm making rainbow legs. They look like something else, but I'm not gonna say. And yeah, they are super cute though. They are going to be a spider. So I am making Eeek the spider by Susan Claudino, and she is No Knit Sherlock on Instagram. I'm sorry, everything is kind of falling apart because these legs are very bouncy and they tend to bounce all over the place. And she has this cool design where you actually knit the leg into your into the body of your spider. So this is the back leg and this is another back leg, and I have to make 2 more, and these are all the others are my front legs. And yeah, I'm making a rainbow spider, and I'm super excited about it because I love spiders. And I will link you guys to the pattern below, but she has a lot of really cute, like, they're very different little knit stuffed animals, and I'm super thrilled to finally have a chance to make some because I have been dying to make Eeek for forever. I'm actually going to give my Eeek fangs, like the little pinchers that they have that are kind of big for their face. I'm going to give him these, this is our Budgie colorway, and it's so cute. I'm going to be giving him fangs out of this, so he looks very poisonous. And she suggests using cat safety eyes, so the slanted pupil. And I'm kind of thinking of giving my Eeek just black eyes, like a regular spider, and giving him fangs, because I always have to do some little twist on a design. I'm so bad at following designs, like, just as they are. Because mine isn't for a child. I can see how that could be creepy for a child, but for me, I think it'd be cute. So I'm going to play around with it and see how I like the black eyes on my Eeek. But anyways, I just started this past week, and I've been obsessively knitting it. I also hand wound a bunch of skeins and twisted them, and twisted them, and twisted them. And I got my thumbs a little sore, so I've actually been putting that Inverness shawl on hold, just because holding anything bigger than a little tiny leg is proving a problem for me, even knitting socks, because I will show you my socks that I'm working on. Which bag is that? I have to remember what bag I have everything in. So, ooh. I finished these for Queen Bee. So these were Queen Bee's Valentine's Day present, and I finished them a few days late, but they are our new pattern that we just released. So, okay, time to talk about new patterns. I did knit these on the 3 Eeek Kraft needles, the US 3s. This is how I decided those were the needles for me, because I could knit and knit and knit and knit, and I did not get tired. My fingertips didn't get sore, which is something that was always happening to me with the flexi flips, with everything. I would hurt the pads of my thumb and my finger, so that wasn't good. The Eeeks don't do that to me. They're perfect. They're my soulmate needles. But we just announced the release for our sock-a-day socks. Literally, you can knit one of these in a day. There are people who are crazy and can knit like a full sock in a day, but I am not like on a size 1 or a size 0. I'm not one of those people. I probably will never be one of those people, simply because I do not have the time to even do that. And I mean, I don't have the skill, but I don't have the time. These are in our Suit Sprites Heart Rainbows, and I showed you that skein earlier in our squishy sock, but so cute! So after I finished these and I cast off my second one, I decided to make Eeek with my leftovers and some leftover rainbow DK minis that we had from winding our mini skein sets. We have those in the shop if you want to make a rainbow Eeek as well. But these are so cute. And yeah, so the Sock a Day sock pattern is our thick sock pattern. So these are made with squishy DK on a US 3. We also have worsted weight ones. So this one has an end hanging out of it, and I don't know why. Queen Bee didn't tie in her end. She didn't tie in her end fully, so Queen Bee made these ones. And this was our original pattern. So our original pattern, Sarah's original pattern, I should say, because she learned how to make socks before anybody else, has a ribbed heel. And you can see this is a gusset, heel turn, heel flap, all of that stuff in a sock. And it's ribbed throughout to give you that negative ease that you need in socks that are especially thick and could stretch out. These were knit on a 5, and they still stretch out more than we would like. So we have been playing for months and months and months and months on how to make the perfect Sock a Day socks, how to make the perfect thick socks. And I'll tell you what, I think that was my phone. It just fell. I don't know if you heard that. So these were born. And you know what? You can see that I do not have sock blockers because, I'll let you in on a little secret, you don't need them. You don't need sock blocks unless you are doing a lace pattern and you want to make it stretched out and lay nice and elegantly on your foot. You don't need them if you are just doing ribbed socks. I mean, yes, it will show off your pattern really nice, or vanilla socks. You don't need it if you are using superwash yarn. If you're using superwash yarn, there's no point, because your superwash yarn doesn't need to be blocked. Blocking helps your socks from really stretching out of place or felting weirdly and what have you, and you just don't need it. So I always lay my socks flat after I wash them though. I always lay them flat to dry, otherwise you will get weirdly misshapen socks sometimes, just because that's the nature of wetting knitting, because knitting is such a stretchy fabric that things will just stretch weirdly. But yeah, I am not going to block these. So we altered the heel design. We altered the way that you disperse your stitches. We made it knit quite a bit tighter on DK and a little bit tighter on the worsted weight version. So our worsted weight version, these are Birdie Bots, by the way. This is our Birdie Bots colorway doubled up in coquette sock. So super adorable. I have a pair of these that Haleyana knit me, doubled up out of shimmer socks. So they're sparkly Birdie Bot socks, and they are adorable. So you can do this and have extra thick boot, sleeping, winter socks, or you can have the slightly less thick DK version. So we're going to include all of that into the pattern. The pattern is being released March 1st. It is a paid pattern. It is not a free pattern, just because we put so much work into working out the kinks in these socks that, but it's not going to be expensive. I think we're going to probably keep it at like $3 for the pattern, but we will tell you how to make them with different size needles, how to make them perfect fit for your foot, how to make them perfect fit for the men in your lives' foot, or men if you are a man, how to make a good sock for you out of this, because my sister Haleyana actually made a pair out of Hufflepuff for my brother. And yeah, so I am excited about these just because they are divine. So I put my foot in one of these when I finished it. I don't know which one I finished first. They match pretty perfectly. I put my foot in this, and it was like heaven. Tearing up. It was so beautiful. It was so beautiful. So we're also going to tell you how to do the ribbed version, the 2x2 ribbed version, a vanilla version if you just want to do vanilla socks. We won't have photos in the pattern for all of these because all of the socks that we've knit with these patterns kind of went as gifts right away, and so they're a little worn out. But I mean, not terribly worn out, but you know, they're not photo ready. So I'm just gonna set these here. And I know I have shown you guys my Stranger Things socks. So the socks, yarn that I got for my birthday. So this is Senbee's Stranger Things colorway. I will show you again. I don't know if I showed you guys a finished sock, but on this I changed up the heel a little bit. I did the garter edge heel flap that my friend Lindsay uses a lot in her patterns. I think I only used 2 stitches of garter though, whereas she usually uses 3, I believe. It's the same as the Hermione's Everyday Socks. And this is, I'm talking about Lindsay from Shink and Bradley Knits. But this sock isn't a regular rib, this is a broken rib. So it's a 2x2 rib that's broken up. And I love this because it doesn't hug your foot as tightly as just the 2x2 rib does, but it still has enough negative ease. So as you can see, this one is laying a lot more true to shape than your ribbed one that will scrunch down. So it's very much up to you, and we will tell you like our thoughts and opinions and all of that in the pattern itself. But my Stranger Things ones I knit a little bit longer as well, just because. So these are, these are to die for. And you can see that they are striping in their color groups. I just love it. I love Stranger Things. I'm a huge Stranger Things nerd. I've mentioned this before. Steve is my baby. I love him so much. And yes, yes, yes. So, yeah. I just transferred. I have to make sure things aren't falling behind me. I just actually transferred my stitches from my, I accidentally pulled these all the way around when I grabbed them this morning, but I transferred them from the Flexi Flips, which I knit the other sock completely on the Flexi Flips. And you know what? I like the Flexi Flips. I will leave this conversation for the other video. I do like the Flexi Flips, but I was hurting myself with them. So, yeah. But as you can see, regular 2x2 cuff and then the 2x2 broken rib. And when I transferred them, I think that my gauge shifted slightly because as you can see, I was getting this nice even disbursement of stripes, and now I kind of got this wedge of color on either side. So we'll see how it goes. Switching up may not have been the best idea just because I definitely feel like I knit more comfortably on these Kraft Magic Loop needles. I do feel like it just flows easier and quicker for me. Oh, and my cute triple decker Eggo extravaganza that my friend Carolyn made me from Chain 344 podcast and Unwound Shop. I've mentioned her before, but I will always tag below. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have switched up, but I love these needles so much that I will risk having my socks be a little goofy looking than knit on Flexi Flips any longer. That's how much I prefer this method. But yes, so, oh yeah, and I want to show you again Queen Bee. So Queen Bee has used, ooh, I kicked the stand again. I am so sorry. I know I'm not supposed to do that. I'm getting better. Queen Bee has knit on DPNs, and she's knit on the 9-inch circulars before, which is my sister Sarah's favorite way of making socks is on the 9-inch circulars. And Kraft actually does make interchangeable 9-inch circulars and the heavy metals. So they make 1.75-inch tips. So they're half the size of these. So itty bitty tips. And cords to do your 9-inch or 12-inch needles, whatever, 11-inch, 8-inch, whatever people are doing these days. But, yeah, my lucky rainbow socks again. I was telling Queen Bee how much I love doing the magic loop. And she said, well, you have to teach me then, because after I bought, gosh, it went bright again. After I bought 6 pairs of needles, she was like, these must be really good. This must be a really good method, and you must really like it. So she's like, well, show me how to do it. Teach me. And so I did, and she loves it too. So she likes it more than the 9-inch, I know for a fact, but she says that she doesn't mind working with DPNs still. I don't like DPNs because I am always super clumsy, and I will drop things and lose things, and it's too much stress for me. So that is that. And now I want to tell you guys about my other shawl pattern. I'm so excited. Okay, so I've mentioned it before, and I've shown you guys snippets before, but I finally blocked, tied in ends, finished, all of the above. I'm gonna take this off because I want to model my my new pattern. So this guy is gonna go back here, and oh my gosh. Okay, so it is massive. Let me just sit back a little bit so you can see. Ah, it's massive. So this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful shawl is crochet. This is my brioche shawl, and oh my gosh, it is divine. It is asymmetrical. It is made with 2 skeins. As you can see, it is contrasting, so you can get this brioche effect on both sides. It has lace to break it up. It has lace edging. It is divine. So when I design crochet patterns, because I've been crocheting for a long time, and I haven't designed an official pattern, even though I've been crocheting for a long time, and I never really follow a pattern. I kind of have always just done my own thing. I've decided to make a crochet pattern that I can really officially, sorry, my hair is a mess, officially get behind. So the thought behind this shawl is that I wanted one that had the right kind of drape and stretch that I love with crochet, or not crochet, with knitted patterns. So this was a mashup of sort of a knitted technique as well as a crochet technique to execute it. So I made it look like little knit stitches, little knit arrows, and some kind of crazy lace, and it really does kind of look like a very lacy stretched brioche stitch. It is the brioche shawl, and I am just so excited about it. So this is the 2-color version, and then I'm pretty sure I've worn this for you guys before, but I don't know. No, I didn't block it yet the last time I showed you. This is the 1-color version, and it was made with a speckle yarn, so 2 speckle yarns, and you can see how big it is. It is giant. It's giant and cozy and wonderful, and even though I stretched it to be very lacy when I blocked it, it's actually still so cozy and warm. And yes, this one, I think I said I was going to release it March 20th, but that's only to give myself time, because I have not done a crochet pattern before. My crocheter friend is my sister, Sarah, who cannot crochet right now. So I'm not sure yet if I'm going to be officially taking test knitters or test crocheters for this pattern, but I want to make sure that I wrote it all right, because they have terminology in crochet. If you're a knitter, they have terminology in crochet that is different if you are from England versus if you are from the States. So I want to make sure that I am writing things correctly. But I love it. I love it so much. It turned out better than I had hoped, so that's always good. Yeah, so that is that. And I can't wait to release it. I am so excited to release it. I'm just thrilled. I can't get over it, because I have been wanting to do a crochet pattern for literally so long, and it has just, I started working on this shawl, well, the original solid pattern, the one color, one skein, no, it's two skeins, but the same color skein, one last year. Then I made a few tweaks, made this one, and showed it in two colors. Oh, and this is our Time Lord, and the orange is our Gallifrey colors, and this is Coquette Sock, which is my favorite for shawls. And as you can see, like, you just can do so much with this. Like, it just, if I stop fumbling, maybe I can show you. It just lays so beautifully. It's just divine. I love it. So if you're a knitter and you don't crochet, you should learn to crochet. It's actually not that hard, the one that I'm doing now, or the one that I did. I am so excited right now that I cannot communicate properly. This stitch is not very complicated. So I would say that after you learn how to half double crochet and double crochet and single crochet, you can definitely make this shawl, so it's not very difficult. And what else did I want to say? I think, no, I will not have this at the next show at Midwest Fiber Frolic. I won't have the sock pattern either, just because I want to make sure everything is perfect, and I'm so busy before the show, prepping for the show, that I wanted to give myself a few days after to work on the socks, and at least 2 weeks to be absolutely sure about this shawl. But I might release it sooner, so you will have to just keep an eye out. As far as anything else going on, that's about it. I really hope that I see you guys at the Fiber Frolic. I always hate jumping from one thing and then being like, okay, it's the end of the podcast now, though you guys can see the timeline and see when it's going to end. But it was lovely hanging out with you guys today. I have a bunch of work to do, so I'm kind of like, no, okay, well, I filmed. Now I have to edit. Now I have to go and do a bunch of other things. I'm hoping that my hands stop bothering me. It's mostly my wrist joint right here that is, well, not joint, but like my thumb area right here that is bothering me from doing the skein twisting. But hopefully that stops soon so I can knit on my shawl, because I wanted to have that French liaison shawl done for this show, but it's not going to happen because my hands hurt me too bad. But yeah, it was lovely hanging out with you. Back to topic, Sam. I hope that you can come. If you are in the Midwest, you should definitely come to the Fiber Frolic. It was called Sheep in the City last year. I just want to give you guys another little bit. Before I end this, I want to tell you a little bit more about the show. It was called Sheep in the City last year, but it has kind of changed who's running it, so they changed the name and they moved it to the hotel across the street. Last year it was in, I think it was a Best Western. You know what, don't quote me on that. Or a Holiday Inn. I don't know, they're two different hotels. It was in a hotel, and now it's across the street, and I am just so excited about it. You can hang out, and they have an area for knitting specifically, or crocheting, or spinning, or whatever it is you're doing, and I'm just thrilled. I'm thrilled because this show is different than others in that you have that time to hang out with people. And last year was a pretty small show. I think that they have a few more vendors this year, but still not tons. So it's just a cute, small, homey, fun show. So if you are in the Midwest nearby, look into it. Come stop by. Yeah. And you guys have a great rest of your week. And I will see you guys soon to announce that I've officially released patterns, new yarns, all of that stuff. Check back at the shop every Friday, and definitely follow our newsletter, Facebook, Instagram, because we announce everything important across all three of those platforms. So yeah, you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for getting caught in the wool with me, and have a great rest of your week. Bye!